The two things that stood out to me that really set American Mold apart on the plus side was that their approach to remediating the mold was less destructive than some of the competition. It required me ripping out less drywall and less invasive procedures. So that was one thing. But probably the biggest single item was the transferable certificate at the end and a renewable warranty that I could get. As I said, on the other side of that coin, American Mold is a bit higher. But when I did the cost value analysis, I thought the additional cost was worth the additional comfort. About a bit more than a year ago, I had my first experience at buying a home at a foreclosure auction. And one of the negative aspects of purchasing that way is that you don't get the opportunity to see the inside of the house before you buy it. So it's a bit of a stab in the dark in that you don't know what you're buying until you already own it. And my first purchase, once I got inside, I found that there had been a break in the water line on the second floor, and the water had ran for some extended period of time until neighbors saw water coming down the outside of the house and called someone and had it shut off. In any event, the house had been flooded, and it had sat there for several months. I don't know how long, a year perhaps. The drywall, first floor drywall, the ceiling drywall was on the floor. The walls had been soaked. The kitchen cabinets had been soaked. And given that it had sat that way for an extended period of time, it was black mold and it was nasty. So that was my first experience with a serious mold issue. And I knew nothing about it. I didn't know anyone that was in the business. So I started looking for someone that could take care of the problem for me. Given that I knew I wanted to sell, having a problem of that nature is a required disclosure item upon sale. And I wanted to be sure that I fixed it right, and had evidence of that when the time came to sell the house. So I asked around a bit, and I'd heard commercials on TV for a variety of companies, but I went to Angie's List as well, and sought bids from multiple companies, which included American Mold. I knew nothing of any of them. Quite frankly, the American Mold proposal was higher than any of the competition. But on the other side of that same coin, I liked their approach better than any of the competition. Once they got it taken care of and got satisfactory air test to confirm that the mold had been sufficiently remediated, they issue a certificate which is transferable to new owners or subsequent owners, and in fact is renewable on an annual basis, which I thought were excellent documents to have come sale time. And in fact, it turned out to be that was with that documentation, the mold issue really was not an issue on that home. So that took care of that one. And just about a year later, in August of this year, I bought another house that, although the details were different, the circumstances were largely the same in that this house had been vacant for a couple of years. The power had been turned off. When the power turned off, sump pumps don't work and basements tend to fill up with water. This one had had a finished basement, and as I understand from talking with neighbors, water a couple of feet deep had sat in the basement for a year or so. So again, it was a nasty situation. So this time, the first people I called was American Mold experts. I did also call some competition to get comparable bids, but I knew on the front end, given my first experience, that if American Mold would be somewhat competitive price-wise, that's who I would go with. And in fact, after some discussion, we came to an agreement once again, and they took care of my problem once again. This time we had a little bit of additional work in that I had them also rip out all of the studding that was in the basement. It was a finished basement, but it was just rec room and playroom type space. So I had them take out all of the old studding and 2x4 and ceiling joists and all of the trash and debris and remediate the mold, and they took care of it quite handily, and that house work is now complete, and the house is on the market. So that's kind of my experience with them. Absolutely. I certainly hope I never have the need for them again, but if I do, they'll certainly be given the opportunity, no question about it.